So to try to pull this back to what I thought was a really brilliant point in your book, and you're looking at disruption, digital disruption, and you say that when innovation collapses the cost of distribution, it's the incumbent business models that are dependent on control over those distribution networks. Those are the ones at risk. So the classic example would be Blockbuster, right? Their greatest asset was their distribution network. They had stores all over the country. They had, good mailing system, logistics dialed in. As soon as something like Netflix came on the scene, something that fundamentally, at a first principles level for delivering media content, if you will, disrupted the need for Blockbuster's extensive distribution network, it immediately became their largest liability. Because now all of a sudden we had dematerialized the ability to deliver content worldwide, not immediately, but relatively quickly, say within a decade. Yep. And that crushed Blockbuster, right? They had, again, operating in this fiat currency complex, they had borrowed against their real estate and their buildings, et cetera, et cetera. So all of a sudden it became this dead weight on them. And that same dynamic, I think, is super interesting. But when we collapse the cost of distribution, that tends to be what crushes old institutions. I think that's even what happened, which you get into later in your book, but that's what happened with the church when the Gutenberg printing press was invented. It collapsed the cost of information distribution. It broke the church's monopoly on knowledge, and it fell from grace as the dominant institution in the world. And now we're going through something similar in the digital age, where we've once again collapsed the cost of information access for everyone worldwide. We all have supercomputers in our pockets now. We have the internet. And I wonder just how you think, to me, that's so powerful. So it's something we can look at. We can look at the cost of distribution and look at it as like a canary in the coal mine for changes that are coming. And the digital age has just collapsed these things across the board. So I wonder how you look at that, and then how you see maybe Bitcoin is collapsing its own cost of, I guess, monetary distribution or banking distribution, that anyone can access this system. It obviates the need for banks. How do you look at that? Am I wrong to think?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, and how early we are in what we're talking about. So people are looking at, so the Blockbuster example that I used often. I use it because the same thing is happening in our monetary level. By stopping creative destruction in the free market, all that has happened is creative destruction is moved up to the monetary system. Right. So that's what's out. You can't stop it. Okay, if you're going to stop it here and centrally control the free market, then the currency is going to break.
Yeah.
And that's what, and Bitcoin's allowing that to happen. But if you, that Blockbuster example, what I say is, what did management, and management wasn't bad management. And Netflix business, when they had a chance to buy it, was $50 million, was not a really good business. The business was a mail DVD business. And so you had costs back and forth in the mail of renting DVDs in the mail. Yeah, it was okay. But what changed the business is download speeds.
Right.
That's, and same reason Paul Krugman said the internet's going to make no different, more of an impact than the fax machine on the economy. People miss how fast it's moving, and so when download speeds, exactly, linear thinking. And so if you're thinking that download speeds, and at that time you couldn't download a video. Remember opening up a web page, and if it had lots of photos, and you'd go like it take for, and I got to go to a different web page without photos because it takes too long to your modem, and how slow everything was. So in that environment, if you misinterpret how fast technology is moving, it's really easy to be fooled by what seems like, which is an exponential pattern, but to you it seems like, where did this come from? It came out overnight.
Yeah.
But once that happened, there was nothing that Blockbuster could do.
Yeah.
There were, so what they did is added candy aisles to their stores.
Right.
Um, right, and it's crazy. We laugh, but now if you're them, what do? It's too late. Your entire advantage in distribution and 9,000 stores and all the attendant costs of it is now a liability overnight. An entire thing becomes a liability, as someone without that liability is growing like crazy.
Yeah.
And people are moving, and it feeds back onto itself. So, but it is a good reference point to what's actually happening at the economy level, at the monetary level too, because that's what it's the same thing is happening in the currency level. So what is the government going to do? But now carry this Blockbuster example further, and so you can see the same thing. Amazon did the same thing to Walmart.
Yeah.
Information in aggregating information of products and having 600 million products competing for demand versus products 130,000 in a typical Walmart store.
Yeah.
So what's the cost of putting those products in the Walmart store? Somebody, a merchandising team, goes and says, I think this is better than this other one. You get to come on the shelf. You don't. Right. So a choice. So Walmart pays people to do that job. And then those people, because it was the biggest store around, then whatever is on the shelf sells like crazy. And those people have bias that they're really good pickers when anything would sell on the shelf. And because they picked it, and lots of people come into Walmart, whereas Amazon removes that type of choice with data, and everybody builds to it. So all of the people that are blocked from going on to Walmart go onto Amazon. And $600 million SKUs against 130,000 SKUs, the data becomes better.
Right.
People find things that they never would have found before, and the distribution model completely changes out of that data, doing that more efficiently. They give us more choice, and the stuff rises to the top that we want.
And then
So
everyone's
yeah,
customized shelves, right? Everyone's looking at their own suggestion engine and based on past that data.
exactly. And you build an AI engine around that, and some of the stuff that they're showing you, oh, I didn't know I would like this.
Right.
And it becomes really, we use it because it's valuable to us.
Yeah.
It saves us time.